Hello everyone, you're listening to Careless Minds. Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host Phil, and joining me once again are my co-hosts Ryan.
Hey, how you doing?
And Darren.
Hello.
So how is everyone? Everything going alright with everybody?
Yeah, sign as a pine.
Yeah.
All good in the hood?
Darren, I watched 10 Cloverfield Lane yesterday.
Very good.
It was alright, it's a bit strange. Nothing to do with the original Cloverfield at all.
It wasn't meant to be, it's just because it's made by Naughty Robot, a bad robot, whatever it's called.
Oh, I suppose.
So they just decided to slap Cloverfield on there as well, so more people will watch it. I still want to watch it though.
It's not that good anyway, you're not missing out anyway. Today's podcast is all about space and space-related things, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. As always in the podcast, I'm going to start with some Would You Rathers to break the ice, break the tension, because it is quite nervous doing a podcast. So to all you listeners that think we make it seem easy, but it's actually quite difficult. So we'll start with some Would You Rathers. I'm going to start with Ryan. Would you rather discover the entire Earth or go into space?
What do you mean by discover the entire Earth?
As in...
It's already discovered.
In your lifetime, by discover, I mean you yourself, there's places you haven't seen before. You know of them.
Visit the entire Earth.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, would you rather visit the entire Earth or go into space?
Go into space.
You ever go into space?
Yeah.
You're not curious about things?
Well, I'm sure I am, but
yeah,
there's plenty of places that I'm not curious about, and I've got to go and see them all rather than go into space.
Yeah, true.
Much rather choose the exciting, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Yeah.
It's entirely possible that I could visit everywhere now.
But what about if you get lost in space?
Well, I won't get lost in space. I'll be able to see the planet. It's pretty big.
Well, the universe is pretty big.
Well, I'm not
if you go too far.
Set my rocket ship to full power and just start flying into space. I'd stay in an orbit and go, oh, that's good. Right, now take me back down.
So you'd rather go into space?
100%.
Darren, what about you? You want to see the world?
Kind of. Does that mean I have to go underwater as well?
No. You're not discovering all of it, just the parts that you want to, but you don't get to go into space. So you're not going to see the space side of it. You can look up, see the stars, but you're not going to go into space and visit anything distant.
I'll discover the world. The world is a beautiful place.
Yep.
Space is just blackness. Mm-hmm. And plus, not everything has been discovered because they haven't gone so far underwater.
100% they have.
They haven't discovered
part of the entire ocean.
Yeah, but not everything has been
discovered. Did
discovered.
you say only 5% of the ocean has been discovered?
You just said you don't want to go underwater.
I don't. I'm just
so everything that you want to see has been seen.
So
already by somebody else.
Alright then, next one, Darren. Would you rather be the last human on Earth or be the first human on Mars? Now, no matter what, no matter which way you pick, you're going to be lonely. But would you rather be the last person on Earth or the first person on Mars?
Part of me wants to say the last person on Earth because there's still resources to keep me alive.
That's a good point.
But that means everybody else has been dead, so that's kind of a selfish answer.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to have to go for Mars.
Mars, you're going to go selflessly here, and you want to be the first person to step on Mars?
Yeah.
Ryan, what about you?
Are you good at my botany?
Well, yeah.
Theoretical scenario.
How good are you right now?
I'm pretty good.
Yeah, I knew you were an expert at that.
Yeah. It would be nice to go to another planet, but it'd be pretty boring because you'd have to just stay in your little ship. Whatever you got there, you won't be able to go and visit the place.
You probably have a limited supply of oxygen. Yeah. Like Darren was saying before, the resources on Earth to be the last person. Yeah. You've got a lot of fun stuff that you can do.
I'm going to be the last person on Earth. I'll be honest, I'm not really that bothered if everyone else has died.
Yeah,
screw them.
Yeah. We know Ryan's
opinion. I can go and have a massive party. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah. Okay. Ryan, would you rather be sucked into a black hole in space or fall into a bottomless hole?
A bottomless hole?
There is no bottom on this hole. You're just going to fall forever until you die.
Right, so about 3 days then, until I die of dehydration.
Yeah.
I'd go for the black hole. It'd be a lot more painless, I reckon. Gravity would rip you apart before you...
Pretty quick,
before you actually get in the black hole, I think.
Yeah, good answer. Darren?
I'm going to go for the same answer with that one.
It's a pretty grim one though, isn't it? Let's be honest.
All down the black hole, isn't it?
I mean,
I never fancy being sucked up a black hole, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Or sucked into a black hole.
I mean, they theorise, don't they, that a black hole would be pretty instant that you'd be sucked in. However, the fear of falling, for instance, if you jumped off something now, you do have that fear. Imagine falling forever. You'd have that fear constantly.
I'll get used to it.
Yeah, I think you get used to it.
Do you reckon?
I think you'd die long before you actually got into the black hole. Or the event horizon of the black hole.
The event, yeah. True.
Yeah,
Okay.
Be long dead.
Okay then, next one. Darren, would you rather float around in space forever or float around the bottom of the ocean forever? Never know your fear of ocean, that was the previous thing you told us, but...
Do you have unlimited oxygen from both?
Yeah.
I'll probably go with space because, like I say, I have a phobia of going
Underwater,
like deep water.
Okay.
So.
I don't know about you, Darren, but I'm detecting a very grim feel to these Would You Rathers this week.
I am a bit, yeah.
It's a lot of being on your own for a long time and then dying.
What more do you want in space? It's very difficult to cope with some Would You Rather. Ryan, what about
meet
you?
some sweet-ass hot alien chick.
You
can take me to wherever she's from.
That's true.
I don't know. I'd probably go for the ocean. I mean,
The ocean?
I'd still be here.
You want to float around at the bottom of the ocean forever?
I could be the first person to discover all the ocean.
You could.
100%.
That's true.
Draw a little map for everyone.
You could.
Chuck it in a bottle and then let it wash up on the shore sometime.
Right, we're
Be
going to...
wet before you get in the bottle, though.
Waterproof paper.
Oh, of course.
At your request then, we're going to liven the mood now and not be so morbid, but I'm going to go with Ryan first on this one. Ryan, would you rather die by disintegration or die by being sucked into a black hole?
Much more cheery, thanks first.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I aim to please.
What was the first one?
So, would you rather die by disintegration
Yeah, that one.
or die by being sucked into a black
I've
hole?
already been sucked into a black hole once today,
Yeah.
so I'm going to
And
mix
you
it up a
survived.
little bit.
Yeah. So you want to
I'm going to go for the
disintegrate
disintegration.
in a flash? Gone. Down?
I'll be disintegrated as
You
well.
want to be disintegrated. Let's say it's by some kind of
Ray
high-tech
gun.
ray gun.
Yeah, that seems alright for me.
Oh, good.
Good
Okay.
way to go.
Alright, this is definitely lightening the mood. You'll be happy with this one. I hope you both know which one it is. Darren, would you rather fly the Battlestar Galactica or fly a Super Star Destroyer from Star Wars?
Seeing as I don't know what the Battlestar, the the first one
Have
looks like.
you never watched Battlestar?
I never watched it, no.
Galactica? Okay.
So I'm going to have to go for
The Super Star
What's that?
Destroyer from Star Wars?
Is that the big triangle one?
It is. It's a slow-moving one. I think it was the crew of something like 2,000.
Do I have my own set of minions to take care of that?
You're not necessarily in charge of the Super Star Destroyer, but you can fly it.
Yeah, I don't think I would like to be around Darth Vader.
Okay.
Using the.
So which one are you picking?
I'm going to go for the Star Wars one, but
Okay.
still, I won't want
I think I'd choose Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, I could see you were shaking your head when Darren was choosing the Super Star Destroyer. So
I don't know Battlestar.
I was more shaking my head at the fact
Galactica.
that he's never heard of Battlestar Galactica.
oh, is
One
that
of the
why?
most successful sci-fi TV series of all time.
I have heard of it, I just don't know what the ship looks like. If he said the Firefly or the Serenity, then I'll go like, oh, I'll go for the Serenity.
Could have definitely picked better spaceships though, Phil, I gotta say.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
I've struggled. I'm not a huge fan of space, I must say. Could I pick something from Stargate, for instance? Would that have
100%. There
interested
are
you?
much better ones.
If I'm honest, when I did pick it, I thought it was Stargate. But later on, I did realise actually this isn't Stargate at all. This is its own program. So just goes to show the listeners how fond I am of sci-fi. Anyway, for the final, would you rather, Ryan? Would you rather play a game of basketball on the moon, or go-karting on Saturn's rings, if it was possible? Yeah, this is all metaphorical here. So you can either have a game of basketball on the moon, or you can go-karting on Saturn's rings.
Neither of which appeal to me too much, I
No,
will be
really?
honest with you, no.
Basketball on the moon?
Yeah.
I'd love to go basketball in on the moon.
The ball would just fly away.
Oh yeah, I didn't
Oh
really-
yeah, but okay, I'm imagining. What you do?
Damn it.
What you do? Tie the ball when you rest.
Tie the ball, you mean?
Yeah.
Like
It doesn't say you've got opponents. You just do it. You don't.
hitch in the face when you bounce it.
The only problem is when you jump up, you might just keep on floating.
Right, which one do you pick?
I'm going to go for go-karting on Saturn's rings, as ridiculous as that is.
You do know what Saturn's rings are made out
I
of?
do, yeah. Nothing that you can go-kart on. I like go-karting,
This is
so...
all metaphorical. Let's say it is. Let's say that the Saturn's ring is a road, for instance. Then you can go go-kart. You're going to pick that one, yeah?
Yeah, that's me.
Darren, what about you? Basketball?
I kind of just answered it. Yeah, so
Basketball on the
basketball.
moon? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be attached to you there and
Yeah, attached to my arm.
just
Good.
shoot some sick hoops.
Yeah.
Well, that ends our part of the podcast for Would You Rathers. For the next part of the podcast, it's something I like to call Area 52.
Ooh.
So, in case our listeners aren't already aware, in this part of the podcast, my co-hosts get to choose one item, an annoyance, a pet peeve, or an antic that really grinds their gears. They get to throw it into a metaphorical black hole that was created in the military base of Area 52, forever banishing this annoyance from existence, making the world, hopefully, a better place to live. Darren, you get to choose one thing that you want to throw into Area 52, into the black hole. What do you want to get rid of?
It has to be space related.
No, let's say for this particular part, no, it doesn't. Anything at all.
Reality TV shows.
Reality TV shows.
The Only Way is Essex, Big Brother, all that crap. That's gone.
If people were listening to our previous podcast, Darren threw another TV show in as well. Not a particular TV show, but a brand, not a brand, a genre of TV show. And now Darren's throwing reality TV shows.
I have no life. All I do is sit in front of the TV.
So you don't like reality TV shows?
No.
You'd like to banish them for all eternity?
Yeah, I've never seen the point in them. I'm not interested in other people's love lives.
Did you ever watch The Osbournes?
No, I didn't.
The Osbournes was amazing. One of the first reality TV shows that I ever watched, and it was really good, really interesting.
I don't think I'll bother with The Osbournes.
No?
I know of them. Don't want to see them.
Yeah. Now, with Area 52, to our listeners, we get to decide whether Darren's point is valid and whether we'd like to put them into Area 52, into the black hole. Ryan, do you think...
Can I not put Darren into the black hole? That was a good idea.
We could do, couldn't we? Yeah. Maybe next time.
We'll hog tie him and just...
Yeah. Ryan, do you agree? Reality TV shows?
Yeah, I don't like reality TV. I'll chuck it in there.
I must admit, for the few that I do like, there are a tremendous amount that I do not like.
Which few do you like?
I love the Osbournes, for instance. Did you ever watch the Hulk Hogan programme? I used to like that one. That was quite a good one. No, never watched it? No. That's about the only ones, really. There probably are a few more that I can't think of quite now, but yeah, I'd probably put that in. Yeah, right?
I'm going to go for people who use the last bit of something but then don't replace it. So like the last bit of the milk and don't replace it.
Yeah, okay.
Or use the last bit of the toilet roll and don't replace it. You know, like they leave the empty milk carton in the fridge.
Yeah, okay.
So you think you've got milk, and you go to use the milk and then there's no milk. So I would throw the people, all of them, I would round them up, hog tie them all together and chuck all of them in the black hole. That's what I would do.
Are you talking about the objects?
No,
you're actually the people.
Okay. The people who do that.
So anybody that uses...
Why do you want to throw toilet paper in?
Keep it. So anybody that, for instance, uses the last bit of coffee.
Yeah, or the sugar, or the milk, or the toilet roll, or the washing up liquid, or anything like that around the house.
You're throwing those people
in the work. Anywhere, really.
Yeah, you're throwing the actual people that do that in. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree, Darren. Do you think that should go in Area 52?
I actually agree, because I actually hate that as well. For once, me and Ryan are in agreement.
Yeah, for once, yeah.
This is quite a big shocking moment of our life.
Yeah. Ryan's noticed that this isn't a competition now, so he's caved in and...
Well, if we're adding up all the scores from the previous weeks as well, I am still in the lead.
It resets per podcast, I'm afraid, so new day, a new dawn, a new score.
You both said yes to mine a little bit quicker than you did to Darren, so if we're going just purely off this one, I win again, unfortunately.
Yeah, because yours is a proper annoyance, you can just turn mine off, I suppose, so just change the channel.
So that ends our part of the podcast for Area 52. Congratulations, guys. You both obliterated your points into the black hole and they cease to exist. Hopefully the world will be a better place from now on.
Hell yeah.
Woohoo. So for our next part of the podcast, we're calling this Careless Fact or Careless Fiction. In this part of the podcast, we give you several statements about our particular topic, and my co-hosts, Ryan and Darren, are to determine which ones are fact and which ones have been completely made up and are fiction. So I'm going to give you some things about space now, some facts or fiction.
Oh, here we go.
And I'd like your opinion.
I don't know about this stuff.
Oh, we'll soon find out, won't we? So, fact or fiction? Mars is home to the tallest mountain in the solar system. Ryan?
I'm going to go true, fact.
Darren, is it fact or is it fiction?
I'm just going to muddy the waters because I have no idea. I'm just going to say false.
Olympus Mons is a mountain on Mars. It is 68,000 feet tall. In comparison, Mount Everest, for instance, is 29,000 feet. Ryan is in fact correct. So that's 1-0 to Ryan. Yes. Okay, fact or fiction? On Mars, the sun appears about half the size as it does on Earth. Fact or fiction? Darren?
I think that's going to be fact because you're further away from it, aren't you?
Ryan, how about you?
I don't think you're that far.
It's true.
The distance is that great that it would be half the size. Half. I think that's fiction.
At the closest point to the sun, the Martian southern hemisphere leans towards the sun, causing a short, intensely hot summer, while the northern hemisphere endures a brief, cold winter. At its furthest point from the sun, the Martian northern hemisphere leans towards the sun, causing a long, mild summer, while the southern hemisphere endures a lengthy, cold winter. I'm afraid Darren is correct. It is fact. So we are one apiece. Ryan, fact or fiction? Mars got its name from the success of the chocolate bar, Mars bar, at the time of its discovery in space. Ryan?
I'm going to go fiction.
You going to go fiction, Darren?
Definitely fiction. It was a Greek god.
It's actually named after the Roman god of war.
Yeah, I meant Roman.
So that is two apiece. We are currently tied. Darren, fact or fiction? In 1991, there were 60,000 jellyfish orbiting the Earth.
Jellyfish.
Jellyfish.
Well, seeing as jellyfish are usually underwater, I'm going to say that's fiction.
Fiction. Ryan, how about you?
It's fiction.
Fiction. I'm afraid you're both wrong. It's actually fact. On June the 5th, 1991, the crew of Space Shuttle Columbia lifted off with almost 2,500 baby jellyfish in their steed as part of Life Sciences experiment. By the end of the mission, 9 days later, there were 60,000 jellyfish. They were trying to prove whether jellyfish could breed in space, basically. So it is a fact. In 1991, there were 60,000 jellyfish orbiting the Earth. Okay then. Ryan, fact or fiction? If you could toss a coin in space, it would always end up landing on heads.
I'd be interested to know if I'm wrong, but I can't think of any possible scientific reason why it would always land on heads, so I'm going to go with a very stern fiction.
Fiction. Darren?
I'm going to go for fiction on that.
You're correct. You wouldn't actually get the coin back if you flicked it up. You're both correct there, so it's 3 apiece. Darren, fact or fiction? You can see the Great Wall of China from space.
That's fiction. You can't see anything from space.
I'm going to go for a very awesome fact to steam me into the lead.
You can't actually see the Great Wall of China with the unaided eye. So the scores now are 4-3. Ryan, fact or fiction? All of the other planets in the solar system could fit between the Earth and the Moon.
That's an interesting one. It's a difficult one. I'm going to go for fact on that one.
Right, Darren, how about you?
Fiction.
You reckon fiction? The distance from the Earth to the Moon is 384,400 kilometres, and the total length of all the remaining planets is 376,370 kilometres, which actually leaves about 8,000 kilometres to spare. So you could, in fact, fit all the remaining planets between the distance of the Earth and the Moon.
Are you including Pluto in that?
No, not including Pluto because it isn't a planet.
That's good.
Why is Pluto not a planet?
Because it's purely ice.
Oh.
So we are level pegging now for all. Fact or fiction, Darren? If you was to remove your spacesuit whilst floating in space, it would taste a lot like almonds.
I'm just going to say fiction. No, fact. No, fiction.
Ryan?
I have a feeling that this is like one of those trick questions, but I'm going to go with fiction.
You are both correct. It is fiction. It wouldn't taste of anything as far as I'm aware. 5 all. Fact or fiction, Ryan? The sun makes up 99.8% of the mass in the solar system.
It's definitely a lot of it. I'm going to take a punt and go at fact.
Darren?
I'll go for fiction. I have no idea.
It is in fact true. The sun does take up 99.8% of the solar system's mass.
That's a lot of mass.
Ryan storms in the lead now with 6 points to 5. For the final fact or fiction, Darren, you get your chance to level up. Ryan, you get your chance to take the throne. Fact or fiction? NASA has actually figured out how to smell Uranus. Darren? Thought you might like this one.
Yeah. I don't know, that's quite funny, but I don't think so.
You think fiction?
I think you just made it because it sounds like anus.
Fiction?
Yeah.
Ryan?
They do have things that can detect smells. My only concern would be that they couldn't detect it that far away. It's pretty far away.
I think by this they're actually going by what sort of gases are on the, what they predict the humidity might be like, or the atmosphere.
Fact.
You reckon fact?
Yeah.
Ryan is in fact correct. It is a fact. NASA has done several tests on Earth as to what gases are stationed on the unusually named planet, and they have concluded that Uranus would smell very similar to that of ammonia. So it is fact. NASA has figured out a way to smell what Uranus smells like. Congratulations, Ryan. You are the winner with 6 points. And Darren, I'm really sorry, but better luck next time. So for the next part of the podcast, we go to our topical discussion. Could you care less? We're talking about space today, and I just want your opinion basically on living on Mars. Is it feasible or not? We know that Mars Curiosity is currently on there, the robot machine that's doing various tests and experiments on Mars. Do you think it's feasible in the future? Can we live on Mars? Could we terraform the planet? Do you think it would be particularly good, particularly rubbish? Darren, what are your thoughts on it?
I think it's feasible that we could live on Mars one day. I can't see it happening anytime soon, but no. I can see it happening.
Do you think eventually?
Yeah, it won't be exactly the same as Earth, but
obviously not.
I think soon as we colonise that planet, we'll end up effing it up, same as we do with this one.
Effing it up? Do you think we'll destroy that planet as well? And we'll go in a sequence?
That's what humans do.
Yeah. Rambo, what about you? Do you think it's feasible?
Yeah, I do. I think it's entirely feasible. I don't think we'll be terraforming the planet or anything like that. I agree, it's something that will happen. When? I don't think it's going to be very soon, but I think maybe you'd be surprised on how soon it's going to be and before there's people there.
Do you think it'll be in our lifetime, for instance?
Maybe not in our lifetime. Not very far afterwards, I don't think.
Yeah.
But then again, I wouldn't be too surprised if it did happen in our lifetime. Not like next week.
No.
But,
maybe in our children's lifetime.
Yeah, if we ever have children.
Let's go back.
Not me and you, obviously. We're not, in having a romantic relationship here, but, just in general.
Well, don't break my heart.
Sorry. But no, I can't have kids with you.
Yeah. So I think it's entirely possible.
Yeah.
Probable.
Yeah. You've watched The Martian, I presume, as well.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of the film? Did you like the film?
It was alright.
I thought it was brilliant, mate.
Yeah, it was a good fun.
Really loved it.
Yeah. Do you think it'd be particularly good to live on Mars? Do you think it would be fun? No.
Dull as dishwater. It would be.
It is quite a dull. They call it a red planet, don't they?
Yeah, it would be dull.
Yeah.
Can I give my theory on what Mars used to be?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I believe this. Obviously, I could be talking a load of bull, but I think Mars was exactly the same as Earth at one point, way before the dinosaurs ever walked Earth.
Okay. You think there were trees on there, for instance?
Yeah, there were trees, oceans, rivers, all that malarkey.
Yeah.
The oceans dried up.
Okay.
And all life on Mars just ended up dying and being extinct.
Do you think just naturally extinct? It was just a natural extinction.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a blast or anything like that.
No, I don't believe it. I think it was just the waters dried up and all life just died. Okay. And it became the red planet we know today.
I need to put a disclaimer. Darren isn't actually a scientist as such. He just has his own opinions, which could be right, could be wrong. I don't actually, I don't fault what you're saying.
Professor Turner at the
Professor
University
Turner
of Wigan.
Yeah. I was wondering why I always wear that white coat. But then you drive a white van sometimes, don't you, as well?
Yeah, but that's for a different reason.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't seem like there's a lot there at the moment. Let's put it one way. I mean, we've got a robot running around, and
But they discover water. Well, traces of water.
They did.
Hence, that goes back to my theory.
Yeah, I mean, we've found water on Mars now, or some type of liquid that's on there. Do you think it's possible bacteria could be living on there?
Well, if anything's possible. But
yeah.
I don't know enough about it, to be honest. It would just be a pure gas.
Yeah.
Very resilient bacteria, aren't they? So I guess they could be there. I don't think it has any far-reaching important effects if they do find it, though.
It could have quite a big effect on religion.
No.
Do you not think?
So.
No.
I know a few religions of my friends that are religious who would completely change the faith if any form of life was found other than our planet. Because their religion is very sort of self-focused on, we are on the earth for a reason, there's nothing else out there, we are here to make that difference.
Well, what do you think in the 1600s when they invented the telescope? I think that was in 1606 or something. So people were really religious back then, more than they are today.
Yeah, true.
So when that was invented and you saw all these other planets and stars and whatnot, what do you think they thought?
I suppose you're right, yeah. They would probably thought, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So Ryan, you wouldn't play basketball on Mars, for instance. You wouldn't go karting around
No, I
Mars.
have no desire to go to Mars. I don't think it'd be exciting or anything.
You wouldn't
it's
like
a long
to
time in space. The only benefit to it, I suppose, is it then gives them an outpost to go further.
Yeah.
But really, to go anywhere meaningful or anywhere interesting, you'd need to invent some form of faster than light travel. Otherwise, you're talking 10, 15, 20, 100 lifetimes before any craft of any description actually makes it anywhere interesting.
Yeah.
I guess some people would find Mars interesting, but...
Based on today's technology that we have with NASA and everyone, do you know how long it would take you to get to Mars?
It's a long time. Years, 20, 30 years, is it?
Well, no, actually, it's not that much. But from today's technology, it's between 150 and 300 days, depending on the speed of the launch and the trajectory and things like that. 300-day journey, Darren, for instance. Would you be willing to embark?
No, thank you. I don't even like the journey to Manchester to London, so definitely not.
Is that you driving personally, or just anyone driving?
Just anyone driving.
Oh, okay.
Get motion sickness.
Some facts for you. The atmosphere is around 95% carbon dioxide, 3% nitrogen, 1.6% argon, and the remainder has trace amounts of oxygen, water vapour, other gases. So at the moment, if you did visit Mars, it wouldn't be very breathable, Darren. You'd have to get some kind of bubble. You couldn't really play basketball unless you were playing it with yourself.
Great. That's about my holiday plans.
In fact, you could be the ball if you went in the bubble. Maybe space aliens could play basketball with you.
That's another thing. I've never really been interested in being a ball.
Yeah.
Never really been interested in being a ball.
I think you make a good ball, Darren.
Yeah, would you?
I'm not round enough.
After the podcast, we'll try it. We'll roll him up.
Yeah.
Kick him around from the yard.
Also, as well, on Mars, temperature can be as little as minus 195 degrees Celsius in winter, and it can get up to 70 degrees Celsius in the summer if you're near towards the equator of Mars. So it's not very habitable at the moment.
I live in England, so I can deal with it.
Yeah. So you stay here for now, Darren. You're not going to embark onto the...
I think we've ever seen 70 degrees Celsius in England.
Yeah. So that ends our discussion with Could You Careless? For the final part of the podcast, we're going to the Careless Co-Host competition. This is a competition now between Ryan and Darren, and we'll see who is the ultimate champion. We're going to ask you 20 questions. Question 1, I'm going to go with Ryan first. What is the closest planet to the Sun?
I always forget this one. It's either Venus or Mercury. Venus.
You're going to go for Venus. I'm afraid that is incorrect. The closest planet to the Sun is in fact Mercury. So nil point for you at the moment, Ryan. Darren, question 2. What is the name of the second biggest planet in our solar system? Neptune. I'm afraid that is incorrect. I see Ryan shaking his head here, but...
Why is Neptune really small?
It is in fact Saturn. So it's still nil point for the both of you. Question 3, Ryan. What is the hottest planet in our solar system?
Logic would have you pick Mercury because it's the closest to the Sun. I have a feeling I've read something saying parts of Venus are the hottest. I don't know if I've just completely made that up. I'm going to go for Venus.
You're going to go for Venus. Correct. Darren, question 4. What planet is famous for its big red spot?
Jupiter.
Correct. Well done. We are level pegging at the moment with 1-1. Ryan, for question 5. What planet is famous for its beautiful rings surrounding it?
Oh jeez.
It's a tricky one.
I'm going to go out on a limb and go for Saturn.
You are in fact correct.
Although it isn't the only planet with rings.
No, it's not. No, but it's well known for its rings though. But Ryan is correct with Saturn. 2-1. Darren, a chance to redeem yourself here to level peg it. Question 6. Can humans breathe normally in space as they can on Earth?
No.
You are correct with no. Nice easy
now
one
he's
there.
getting the easy ones.
We are level pegging 2-2. Ryan, is the sun a star or a planet?
Ooh, tricky. I'm going to go for star.
Ryan is correct. Okay, Darren, question 8. Who was the first person to walk on the moon?
Neil Armstrong.
You are correct, Darren. Ryan, question 9. Which planet is known as the Red Planet?
Mars.
You are correct with Mars. 4-3. Darren, what is the name of the force holding us to Earth?
Oh, gravity.
Ooh,
I mean, I had to think about that for some reason.
You didn't instantly think Star Wars then, did you?
I did actually think Star Wars.
I thought you might have.
I just heard Yoda's voice over your voice then.
The midichlorians are strong in this one.
You're both doing well. 4-all. Ryan, question 11. Have human beings ever set foot on Mars?
No.
Correct. 5-4. Darren, what is the name of a place that uses telescopes and other scientific equipment to research space and astronomy?
NASA.
Ryan, any...
I think it's an observatory.
He is correct. It is called
Do I
an
get a point for
observatory.
that?
It's a shame you don't, because it is quite a difficult answer, that one, I thought, but I'm afraid, Ryan, no, you do not.
Dang.
4 points to Darren and 5 points to Ryan. Ryan, question number 13. What is the name of NASA's most famous space telescope?
The Hubble Space Telescope.
You are correct, Ryan. Darren, you are currently losing, Darren, I must warn you. 4 points, and Ryan is storming ahead with 6 points. But for question 14, Earth is located in which galaxy?
Milky Way.
You are correct, the Milky Way. Not just named after the chocolate bar. Well done. 5 points. Ryan is on 6 points. Ryan, question 15. What is the name of the first satellite sent into space?
No idea.
No.
Is it Sputnik?
It is correct, yes. Darren, for question 16. Ganymede is a moon of which planet?
Oh yeah, that's an easy one for me, thanks.
Nice easy one.
I'm gonna say Mars.
Oh, I'm sorry, Darren. The answer is actually Jupiter. Ryan, would you have got
I
that?
wasn't gonna know that.
Jupiter would have been my guess, because I know it's got a lot of moons, but I didn't know it for 100% certain.
So, Ryan, for question 17, what is the name of Saturn's largest moon?
I wanted to say Titan, but I don't actually think that is the biggest one. It's the only one I know, so I'm going to have to go with
Can we
Titan.
go with Titan? Ryan is correct. So, question 18, Darren. Olympus Mons is a large volcanic mountain on which planet?
I'll go for Saturn.
Darren, we covered it on the podcast. You obviously weren't listening. It's actually Mars.
Oh,
Darren, oh, you haven't been listening to me, have you?
We do try and phase him out, to be fair, so
We
I
do.
can understand your pain, Darren. I was lumbered with listening to him when he was mentioning that, fortunately.
Right, we've got a difficult one for you here.
Okay.
Question 19. Does the sun orbit the Earth?
Oh, no, the sun doesn't orbit the Earth.
No, you are in
is
fact
the
correct.
Earth flat?
Yes, yes, the Earth is flat.
You are correct, Ryan. It's actually the Earth that orbits the sun. So for our final question, Darren, you can't win, Darren, but you could, keep your
Just
dignity
rub that
here.
in.
Question number 20. Is the planet Neptune bigger than the Earth?
Ryan's nodding his head, so I'm gonna say no.
Darren, you should have gone with Ryan's little hint there of nodding his head. The answer is true. Neptune is bigger than the Earth, I'm afraid. So, congratulations, Ryan. Once again, you are our champion. Darren, I'm sorry, but you need to do some research on space.
The only thing I know about space is that is an empire controlled by a guy called Palpatine.
Darren, no. You need to learn some facts. Stop watching Star Wars. So that ends our podcast. I'd like to thank all the listeners for tuning in today. If you have a particular topic you'd like us to discuss, or perhaps you'd like to compliment us on how well we're doing, or even just hurl some abuse at us, maybe you want to hurl some abuse at Darren, then why not visit our new Facebook page at www.facebook.com/Careless Minds and drop us a remark. Our podcasts can all be heard on the SoundCloud website, so go to your computer and go to www.soundcloud.com/Careless Minds, and all our episodes are available to download completely free on iTunes. You've been listening to Careless Minds. Until next time, so long for now.
Cheerio.
Adios.
Peace.